Welcome to A Sim Code. Hi everyone. It's time for another amazing episode. Please like and subscribe to be part of the fun. The range function in Python is used to generate a sequence of numbers, which can be iterated over in a loop, typically within a for loop. It takes up to 3 arguments: start, stop, and step. The start defines where the sequence begins, default is 0, stop specifies where the sequence ends, but does not include the stop value, and step determines the increment between each number, default is 1. For example, range 2, 10, 2 will produce numbers 2, 4, 6, and 8. If no step is provided, it defaults to 1, and if no start is specified, it starts at 0 by default. The range function is particularly useful for controlling the number of iterations in a loop. This example uses the range function and a for loop to generate and print a sequence of numbers starting from 2 up to but not including 9, with an increment of 2. Specifically, it prints the numbers 2, 4, 6, and 8. The range 2, 9, 2 function generates these numbers, and the for loop iterates over each value in the sequence, printing it one by one. This demonstrates how range can be used to create a custom sequence of numbers and how a loop can process and display them efficiently. The goal of the example is to show how to control the flow of numbers and print them without manually specifying each number in the sequence. Python code using the range function and a for loop to print a sequence of numbers. Let's break down each part of the code with detailed explanations. The for loop begins here, and its purpose is to iterate through a sequence of numbers generated by the range function. The range function will generate numbers based on the parameters provided, and the for loop will iterate over these numbers, performing an action on each one. Range 292 is used here to generate a sequence of numbers from 2 up to but not including 9, with a step size of 2. 2 is the starting point of the sequence. 9 is the stop value, but the sequence will not include 9. It will stop just before it reaches 9. 2 is the step, meaning the sequence will increment by 2 at each step. For example, it will go from 2 to 4, then 6, then 8. Now let's examine the parts in more detail. 1. Number is a variable, specifically an integer variable, used to store each value that the for loop iterates over. The type of number is integer. Number will take on the values 2, 4, 6, and 8, one at a time, as the loop runs. Each time the loop runs, number will be updated to the next value in the sequence generated by range. Let's now look at the action performed inside the loop. Print is a built-in Python function used to display information to the user. The print function will output whatever is passed to it as an argument. In this case, the argument is number, which holds the current value from the sequence generated by range. The print function will display the current value of number on the screen. So, when the loop iterates, it will print. First iteration, number will be 2, so print 2 will be executed, and 2 will be displayed on the screen. Second iteration, number will be 4, so print 4 will be executed, and 4 will be displayed on the screen. Third iteration, number will be 6, so print 6 will be executed, and 6 will be displayed on the screen. Fourth iteration, number will be 8, so print 8 will be executed, and 8 will be displayed on the screen. After the loop finishes, all the values in the sequence 2, 4, 6, and 8 will have been printed to the screen, each on a new line. Now, let's go over the key elements of the code in even more detail. Range function. The range function generates a sequence of numbers. It is commonly used in loops when you need to repeat something a specific number of times or iterate over a set of numbers. Range start, stop, step has the following parameters. 1. Start, the number where the sequence begins. In this case, 2. 2. Stop, the number where the sequence stops, but it does not include this number. The sequence stops before reaching 9. 3. Step, the interval by which the numbers in the sequence increase. In this case, 2. For example, range 2, 9, 2 generates the numbers 2, 4, 6, 8. It starts at 2, stops just before 9, and increases by 2 at each step. If the step was set to 1, range 2, 9, 1, the sequence would be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. For loop. A for loop is used to iterate over a sequence of values, one by one. It is often used when you know in advance how many times you want to repeat an action. In this code, for number in range 2, 9, 2 means that for each value in the sequence generated by range 2, 9, 2, the loop will assign that value to number and then execute the indented code inside the loop. The loop will repeat until all values in the sequence have been processed. In the first loop iteration, number will be 2. In the second loop iteration, number will be 4. In the third loop iteration, number will be 6. In the fourth loop iteration, number will be 8. Print function. The print function is used to output data to the console or terminal. It takes one or more arguments, data you want to display, and prints them to the screen. In this case, the print number command inside the loop will output the value of number each time the loop runs. The value of number is updated on each iteration by the range function, and the updated value is printed by the print function. Breakdown of variables. Number. This is an integer variable that holds the current value of the sequence generated by the range function. The variable number will hold the following values as the loop progresses: 2, 4, 6, and 8. Each time the loop runs, number is updated to the next value in the sequence. Breakdown of expressions. Range 2, 9, 2. This is an expression that generates a sequence of numbers from 2 to 8, incrementing by 2 each time. It evaluates to the sequence 2, 4, 6, 8. For a number in range 292, this expression starts the loop, and each iteration of the loop will use the next value in the sequence created by range 292 and assign it to number. Print number. This is the expression inside the loop that prints the current value of number. Logic of the code. The code generates a sequence of numbers starting at 2 and ending at 8, but not including 9, with a step of 2. The for loop iterates through each of these numbers. On each iteration, the current value of number is printed to the screen. The loop stops once all numbers from the range have been printed. In this way, the code efficiently prints the sequence 2, 4, 6, 8 without needing to manually list each number. The use of range with the for loop helps automate and simplify this task, making it more flexible and scalable. Here is a light joke related to the code. Why did the number 6 break up with the number 7? Because 7, 8, 8, 9, and 6 was left out in the range. Now run our code. Thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe to stay updated.